A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock myself?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
It's time for round number 2 of the 10th season of the Venom Truck Series. We are here for the very first time in series history, only the second time on Turn 200, that we've been live from Five Flags Speedway, located in Pensacola, Florida. Welcome into Turn 200's coverage of the Pigeons with a Purpose 200, presented by Operation Skyline. I give you one guess as to who picked that name. But we're back with the Venom Truck Series here for round number 2 of the season. Tommy Cook, Matt Williamson hanging out with you, partner. This is a great track. I don't want to diminish this facility. Of course, most known for hosting late model stock car racing in the month of December, I believe it is, with the Snowball Derby. We're up for an interesting challenge here, to say the least, this evening.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be a different challenge. It's one of the very few times we've ever been here on the channel, but typically you have smaller cars that are coming to this racetrack. This time we're bringing the trucks to Five Flags Speedway. It's a smaller track, but there's actually a lot of room in the corners, and I think there's lanes on both the bottom and the top that you can try and make work, especially as the run continues on. So, if we can get a decent green flag run, I actually see us having some pretty good racing here tonight. But with the field being bunched up, lots of trucks, small track, everybody's going to have to do their due diligence to get us that green flag run.
Certainly a lot of due diligence to be had here this evening. 33 trucks that will tackle the half mile tonight. Last week on the big 2.5 mile at Daytona, we had 43 trucks, and this is how the point standings look after last week. Not a surprise to see those two names on the top of the board.
Not at all. They worked together quite well, and they find themselves actually tied atop the leaderboard right now. Of course, the winner from last week, John Kay, and the man that pushed him to the win, Josh Matichek, both tied for first in the points right now. Andy Poliski only 1 point behind. Hayden Palumbo, Jeremy McKinnon are your top 5. Reigning series champion Matt Schlosser is there in 6th. Zach Lockett, Sam Baumgarten, Eric Breeding, and Josh Freed are your top 10. This is not important at the moment in the season, but if you want to know what your cutoff line is, it's Jordan Jorno, Michael Dean, RJ Starcevic, Bentley Reynolds, and Rodney Matney. That is one heck of a below the cutoff line right there.
That is certainly a hodgepodge, a very interesting name. Three of the 15 drivers on this graphic are not in the session with 10 seconds left to go in qualifying. That would be Bentley Reynolds, Michael Dean, and Rodney Matney and Jeremy McKinnon and Bentley Reynolds. So those three will be moving off of this chart when it's all said and done here this evening. A couple things I want to point out here as well. I had these names in mind before qualifying just wrapped up. But if you think back to some of the more interesting and unique short track racing venues we've been to in the last couple of seasons, I think coming into tonight, there were a couple of names to me that stood out. I want to talk about them first and then maybe get your thoughts on some of the folks that we might be watching out for here tonight. But Brody Gunter, of course, taking to the Cars Tour of late in real life. This is a track that is right in his alley. Winner at the USA Speedway a couple of seasons ago in a often not run truck racing venue. And then you talk about caution fest races on short tracks. Who has been better at picking up the strategy on those than Jan van Leer? And those two drivers just happen to have qualified second and third, with Gunter and van Leer making up the outside of the front row and the inside of row number 2. Actually, I had that backwards. JVL on the outside pole, and Brody Gunter starting in third. I mean, talk about these two drivers and maybe their ability to get after it here tonight. And then anybody else that you got your eye on?
Yeah, I think you brought in a nice component there, and it's not only in real-life driving. It's we've seen it time and time again here on the sim. Brody Gunter is definitely a force to be reckoned with, especially when he gets a little irked. He seems to really get a fire underneath of him, and there's no better place to get irked on the racetrack than here at a short track at Five Flags in a truck. So I think that competitive fire might come out from Brody Gunter here tonight. Looking forward to see that. But then, I mean, yeah, Jan van Leer over the last 2 or 3 seasons has had some of the strategy-filled short track runs on lock with multiple wins. A nice-looking in and out number 5 here tonight as well. So yeah, definitely going to be looking to make the best of it here tonight. I think one of the short tracks that we run basically every season here at Venom here at this point is North Wilkesboro. I think you kind of have to look at some of the drivers that do well at that racetrack as well. I think John Kay is going to be one of those. Andy Poliski, in my mind, would be one. Sam Baumgarten was pretty good in practice here a little bit earlier in qualifying. So, we have some rookies that we don't know what they're quite capable of. Another one that's new to the Venom Truck Series, but not new to Turn 200, is Jack Watts. He has lots of experience running short tracks in the truck with some very competitive drivers. I think if there's a time for him to kind of show the leagues that he's kind of been in and around and the type of talent that they have, this is the night to do it.
Certainly a lot of contenders here, not the least of which would be Joshua Monachek, who has scored the pole. He'll be leading the field of green here in about 2 minutes' time. I want to welcome in everybody that's hanging out with us here tonight. Speaking of Monacheks, hello to Bailey, hello to Robin, hello to Joshua Rutherford, who will be making his second career Venom Truck Series start here this evening. Took last week off to go watch Weird Al Yankovic. That's a pretty good excuse if there ever was one. And Jeremy McKinnon watching safely from his hotel room, no longer being held hostage by Kyle Zittel somewhere in Wisconsin. So that's good news as well. Hello to Jeremy. And hello to anybody else that may be watching here this evening with the Pigeons with a Purpose 200 about to roll off here. What are you putting the over-under at? I saw John Kay put it at 13.5 cautions, but what do you think maybe is the number we should aim for? And what's the vibe with about a minute to go here in the warm-up?
I think the number we should aim for is maybe 10. I think that's enough that's realistic, but also able to get some good green flag runs in there. I have a feeling, however, that it is going to be more in the 15 plus, maybe, dare I say, maybe close to 20 range here tonight. But could be surprised. We'll have to see. Like I said earlier, there is a lot of room in the corners, and you can kind of run some different lines here, which is not always the case at other short tracks that we go to. So I think there is a little bit of a different dynamic here than maybe we would expect at some other places.
I think there are a couple of things working in the favor of these drivers. First of all, this is an iRacing official setup. I know this is a unique track that the trucks don't normally go to, but it was on the official schedule last season. So this is a setup provided by iRacing. It's a lot more in line with the setups that these drivers will be used to running on the short tracks. And also, the sun is going down. This track is cooling. Practice opened up with a track temperature of 104 degrees. We'll see what it is when we take the green here, but it is well below that currently as conditions are about to change once again. But it's still short track racing with 33 Venom Truck Series drivers, and it's still early in the season, and a lot to be gained and a lot to be lost here in the Pigeons with a Purpose 200 here at Five Flags Speedway. On the pole, he finished runner-up last week at Daytona with his second career point position. It is Joshua Monacek that will lead the field to green with Jan Van Leer, 3 times a short track winner, and also a winner in a little Sunday Fun Day action last week at Homestead Miami Speedway. It will be Brody Gunter, short track winner multi-times over, starting in the 3rd position. To his outside, it will be John Kay, last week's big Daytona winner, starting in P4. Lucas Carver will roll off from P5. Matthew Karakhoff is the highest starting rookie here in the field this evening from the outside of the 3rd row. Hayden Palumbo and Zach Lockett, 2 formidable short track racers there. Palumbo, winner at Kern County last season. He starts from the 7th position. Matt Schlosser, another short track ace back there in P9. Kyle Zittel, a Bristol winner a couple of seasons ago. He'll round out your top 10 starters. Jordan Journeau and Cade Cannon both had excellent pace in practice. They will make up row number 6 with Brantley Gainey and Frank Suris on row 7. Andy Poliski back there on the inside of row number 8 with Jack Watts to his outside. Michael Dean and Chad Stearns on row 9. And it's Cole Maxwell and Austin Holyfield on row number 10. Tyler Bergert and Josh Freed on row 11. Sam Baumgarten with his great practice pace, easy for you to say. Baumgarten back there in the 23rd position with Joshua Rutherford to his outside. Rob Williams and Steve Roman on row 13. It's Corey Rutherford and Pascal Samard on row 14. Eric Breeding, Gary Clark had great pace and won a lot of official races here. He's back in spot number 30 after a successful surgery last week. Mark Ossier, Paul Sargent, and RJ Starcevic, the 33 driver starting lineup. As some final second pep talks from race control are underway. Matt, what are the track conditions and what are these drivers looking to accomplish here tonight at Five Flags?
Yeah, track temperature still down, still cool, which is good for these drivers here. Ambient temperatures at 81 degrees, 86 degrees is your track temperature. Got a couple hundred laps to do it here around Five Flags. Jeremy McKinnon mentioned that the track was very slick in practice last night, even with the lower track temperature. So I think key right now is for these drivers to be easy on the tires while they're cold. Let them come into the run, and then you can kind of get after it maybe a little bit later here.
Green flag is out. We are underway. Monacek leads him into turn number 1. Gunter and Van Leer side by side. And Monacek going to bring the field back around to lead the opening lap. Very tricky conditions here on the bottom of turn number 1. There's a little bit of a bump there, and with how loose this truck is, would not be shocked at all to see some drivers looping it on cold tires here in the next couple of circuits. As there goes one around. That's Karakhoff.
That's Hayden Palumbo.
That's Hayden Palumbo, you're right. Palumbo around, and that will bring out our first caution here as we cross the line to complete the second lap. The good news is, I mean, that's the death zone right there. Out of 4, into 1. Things can stack up in a hurry. Everybody on their toes there. And Palumbo is the only real casualty of that incident and really doesn't hit the inside wall all that much. So he should be okay to continue.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like at North Wilkesboro when you come off of 4. You can get really loose in that, that inside wall is right there. It's very easy to get into it. And there's not much padding there. It's pretty much all concrete. So you really have to be careful with how you hit that inside wall here. I think you're right. I mean, cosmetically, it looks decent here for Palumbo, but we'll see how the night plays out for him here. Might have a little damage to get fixed with the pit stop at some point. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay here into turn 3. Just front of the bottom of 4. Goes to gas it up. And you can see he's already starting to get loose there. Just never able to get it back. Big slide sideways.
I thought that was Karakov, but that's because he was right outside of him.
And it was more of a broad slide, like you said, not really getting into the inside wall too badly. But man, if you don't catch it and slide sideways and you kind of careen down into the inside wall, it could get ugly in a hurry.
Joshua Monacek, the race leader. Gunter second at the time of caution, puts Jan back to third. So that's a spot gained for Gunter here already. Now we'll see where Monacek is going to elect to restart from. As it looks like he's taking the inside. Gunter will stay up top.
We got 3 drivers running car inside cameras for us here tonight, and all 3 of them are inside the top 5. Monacek, John Kay, and Lucas Carver, all starting inside the top 5 here on the first restart of the evening.
You mentioned Jeremy McKinnon said it was loose. I believe the quote from Eric Breeding was, "It is slicker than a buttered possum at the county fair." So keep that in mind, I guess, as we're back to green. Great jump on the bottom there from Monacek. Gunter able to slip down low. Here's John Kay trying to make a little ground on the top side. And he's got a nose out ahead to get up the third. Gunter, meanwhile, going to challenge down to the outside of Monacek for the race lead. Gain a little ground here, roll in the middle. Definitely Gunter searching around the racetrack for where he can find speed in some dirty air early. Schlosser in 5th. They're side by side behind him with Karakov underneath of Lucas Carver. As we got a problem on the front stretch, that is Frank Suris around, and the caution is out for the second time. Suris, again, same kind of spot there. I think spinning out of turn number 4. We'll see if he had any help, but again, collecting down into that inside wall.
And once again, doesn't look like a lot of cosmetic damage. We didn't get a good look at that one there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay. This is going to be another driver here running the bottom. Has a truck to the outside. And once again, trying to put the throttle down. This is more of a late slide here for Suris. Palumbo's slide started much earlier than this one, but the result is basically the same. Maybe a little harder contact with the inside wall, but all in all, it looks pretty okay. I don't think it's going to be anything major. We'll roll it back one more time. Let's go to the driver's point of view.
Tell you what, I ran a considerable amount of practice, and both ways are easy to come by out of turn number 4. You can get around right out of the corner, or I had a lot of times doing exactly what Frank did here, around in the middle of the front stretch, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that's a case where he felt like he was kind of out of the corner already and really thought he could just hammer on it probably, and he was just not to that point yet where he had the green light to go all out. So, yes, very touchy conditions here for the drivers on colder tires early, and already a couple of early cautions.
So RJ Starcevic started from the pits, I think a couple of laps behind the initial start of the race. He just got one of his laps back. He's the only driver a lap down. Hayden Palumbo, after being the OL driver on the last restart, already up to 28, so he's gained quite a few positions back. But still a lot of work to do to get himself back into the top 10 here. As Monacek again going to take the inside. as he's been able to get good launches here down low, being the control car. With no marked restart zone, I think he's been able to catch a lot of these drivers napping. On the gas again. This time, Gunter able to answer a little bit better, but Monacek still free to roam. To the inside of Gunter. Schlosser and Van Leer side by side behind them. Top 5. Getting a good getaway here. Monacek has still let them all thus far, but Gunter is making some ground here on the top side.
Oh.
Thought maybe he wanted to tuck in there, but has to stay to the outside.
Oh, look at this. Trying to go
Monacek
for the
is
high
loose!
wall, and he gets turned.
Gunter can't check up in time, and this is going to be a big
my.
pileup. Monacek just got a little bit loose, moved down in front of Gunter. One tap finishes him off. That's all it's going to take.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
I will say that could have been worse, but there are definitely going to be a couple drivers with a lot of damage, not the least of which would be Monacek and Gunter here, as John Kay is now the race leader under our third caution.
Yeah, there were some drivers that kind of piled in there a little bit. Let's take a look. I mean, Gunter tried to set this up. It looked like through turns 1 and 2, and then wasn't able to get there. Decides to go for the high-low move here. And Monacek gets pretty loose. I don't even think Monacek was really trying to move down the racetrack. He was really trying to hammer the throttle down and got himself loose. We'll take another look at it here, but that's what it appears to be from that angle. And now let's look at some piling ins. Man, Lucas Carver, Kyle Zittel, like Brantley Gainey, pretty good shot. I mean, Gunter got absolutely blasted on the back end. Let's see if we could take a different angle here this time. Take a look. Yeah, Monacek's starting to get loose there. And just checks up a little. And actually, I think Gunter got into him right there to begin with. And then just, oh, man, yeah. I mean, somebody gets loose in front of you like that when you're both fighting for first. I mean, that's a tough spot to be in.
So Brody Gunter coming in under this caution. Joshua Monacek, though, does not, and he will start on the outside of the front row. So sometimes in situations like this, iRacing will blend you back into where you got back up to speed. Apparently that was P2 for Monacek. Gunter was not too far behind him, but did come down pit road along with Andy Poliski, Tyler Bergert, Frank Suris, Matthew Karikoff, and Kyle Zittel. Another lucky dog for RJ Starcevic. He's back on the lead lap as the pace truck pulls in, and John Kay now will lead the field back to the green flag for the first time this evening. Schlosser on the attack to the inside of Monacek here. As Joshua is very loose with quite a bit of rear end damage there. He is just going to stay on the top side of this track and drop all the way to the back of the field.
Yeah,
and they're now up to third.
Unfortunate thing here for both Monacek and Brody Gunter is on a short track, you just have no time to fix damage without losing laps. So, yeah, it's going to be tough sledding, no pun intended there, to get things headed in the right direction here tonight.
Gunter is back down pit road under green, so that is not going to help his case. As it looked like Lucas Carver took a pretty big shot there under that, or in that wreck, and he's still up here battling away inside the top five, and it looks like he's to the inside wall.
Hard shot to the inside wall, but not sideways. We're still green.
Trying to stay down on this inside wall. It has been a wretched start to the season for Carver in the 89 truck as he trundles along here on the bottom side of the track. John Kay leading. Now the caution is out.
Caution flies. Not sure.
It might honestly be still for Carver. He's the only driver I see slow on the track. He was sort of half on, half off. I mean, you don't really have a chance to get off the racing surface on the backstretch. But over the radio, maybe Joshua Matichek saying that he might have spun at the back of the field. Oh, and he absolutely did.
Well, we got a good look at Lucas Carver's truck, and it is heavily damaged.
It had already had front end damage, but there is definitely more.
Front end and rear end here. But yeah, the front, definitely. That front left corner definitely got hurt more there when he slammed the inside wall. Let's take a look here for Matichek. Obviously, a damaged truck at this point could really barely keep it going there when he started at the front of the field. Probably going to be a spin on entry here if I had to guess. Yeah, he's, man, trying to keep it from getting sideways, but just backed it right into the outside wall there in turn number 4. Curious, it did look like Carver was slow. He was just getting to the bottom of the racetrack.
He was as low as he could go, but the grass actually meets the yellow line there down the backstretch, so he was trying to get out of the way.
But we'll take one more look here from the point of view of Matichek. This is not a live shot on the webcam, by the way, but yeah, man, you can, I mean, he's doing a good job. He's doing what you need to. He's shifting down, trying to spin the tires to keep the rear end out of the wall. Just could not quite do the job.
I think the ingredients are here for a green flag run as John Kay is going to take the outside on this restart. These drivers just cannot succumb to the short track frustration. We're back underway here. These drivers will figure out these trucks. The track is cooling. The tempers need to stay cooled for just a little bit. We might be okay. It's a big ask, though. Oh, and there goes Cole Maxwell around in the middle of the pack. Caution is back out. Oh, and quite a bit of a pile up there. Steve Roman is in that mix. Looks like Eric Breeding got a piece of it as well.
Yeah, Brody Gunter found his way into it right there at the very end as well. So things not getting any better for the 01 so far.
Certainly not.
So based on the radio, it sounds like Cole may have had a little help here.
I think he might have.
Cole's right up here at the top of the racetrack. And, yeah, Clark carrying a little more speed there than Maxwell was hoping to. And the 8 gets right into the back of the 69. There's a little bit of a check there as well because Baumgarten in the 6 was kind of taking more of a middle line and trying to get slowed down a little bit more to pull down the racetrack a little bit further than Maxwell was. And I think Maxwell had to be a little bit cautious on entry into the corner there.
Now, I'll say this in Gary's defense. In the truck, there was probably nobody that has turned more laps here at Five Flags than Gary Clark. So he is driving with some confidence here. I think a little bit further back in the lineup than he was hoping to be after qualifying. So you can kind of see where he's coming from here, saying that he overdrove the entry, was expected of Maxwell to drive it a little bit deeper. But on the flip side of that, you know, we're early in the run here. You gotta be there at the end. We'll see if patience will start to prevail for a few of these drivers. Just a note for the broadcast as well. I've just had a seemingly very strong thunderstorm roll into my area. So if I bye-bye, that would be why.
Well, hopefully, I don't think there's
I thought
supposed to be
somebody
anything in
crashed
my
a
area.
car into my house a minute ago, but it was just a crack of lightning somewhere in the area, apparently. We're back underway. Schlosser hanging tough here on the bottom, and he's going to get a good drive. He'll be going for the lead here into 3.
Yeah, I mean, Schlosser's one that we didn't talk about too much here to open up the broadcast, but, I mean, that's a driver that can get it done just about anywhere, but very good on the short tracks as well.
Certainly 2 Iowa wins in 7 days between Truck 200 and the Venom Truck Series for Matt Schlosser. He knows how to do it on the short tracks.
Oh, man, that
and he is now the leader.
Tight. And is now able to clear John Kay.
Good side-by-side here all through the top 10. Jordan Journeau, Chad Stearns battling for spot number 6. So these drivers try and settle in for a long run.
I know Chad Stearns is open for a long run. That is the bread and butter of the 05.
Yes, it is. Oh, Corey Rutherford nearly piling into the back of his teammate there, Sam Baumgarten.
I'll tell you what,
a little bit loose.
As we get later on in this run, and we saw Journeau maybe have a little hint of it there out of 4, you start getting tight out of 4 as well, and you have to be careful not to go up and hit the outside coming off of turn 4 onto the front stretch. That'll be something to watch as we get some laps under these tires.
Reminds me a lot of doing the work on the Truck 200 setup at Myrtle Beach. Loose in, tight off. It's a handful, that's for sure. As Austin Holyfield is making good ground here on the top side. I don't know who we said it more about last season than Austin Holyfield. Always ran great, never got the result for one reason or another. And that was case in point at Daytona last week as well. I'm sure he's tired of that. As Journeau is snap loose underneath of him there. Holyfield will move into 7th. Journeau moving backwards now as Stearns trying to get away from them all.
Yeah, that was heads up for Baumgarten not to get really hard into
trouble.
Journeau,
Frank
and
Suris, Steve Froman. Caution.
Boy, Steve Roman cannot catch a break. He has been in the middle of all of this.
Now these guys need to go so they don't get lapped, and they do. They get it figured out. I think they were both inside the top 20 before that one happened. That's caution number 6 here on lap 44. As, oh my gosh, that lightning strike was like a block away from me. Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, we may lose Tommy Cook at some point through this broadcast.
I think pretty quickly I'm going to be gone. Good luck to everybody if I do.
Well, Ryan Dye tells you to blame the birds.
I do.
All right, so Suris headed into turn number 1, just gets loose on his own here on entry. Oh, and then a little overcorrection gets him hard in the outside wall. Man, that was a snap overcorrection. So it's still going to be Schlosser and Kay here on the front row. Zach Lockett having a great night so far on the short track.
Zach Lockett, P3. Brantley Gainey there in the 5th position.
Chad Stearns got pretty far into the top 10 there.
Yes, indeed.
And then we talked about Baumgarten not getting the great qualifying effort, but was really quick in practice. He's starting inside the top 10 here.
As he is. Good getaway for Schlosser again into 1K, able to file in line in front of Lockett here. Stearns in Holyfield, Baumgarten and Jorno. 4 drivers under a blanket here inside the top 10.
And it's about to be 6 as you got Jack Watson, Hayden Palumbo coming up right behind him 2x2.
Talk about Stearns being a long-run guy. That is Jack Watts' modus operandi as well. I'd say he's up here a little bit earlier than I was expecting, but he has made steady work of the field thus far into the top 10. Oh, little door-to-door contact there between Jorno and Baumgarten. As Garrett Clark is motoring up to this group here as well. I mean, he is rolling the centers beautifully. If he could just find a way through here, I think legitimately he's got great pace to get up here and contend inside the top 10.
And just as he does, that side-by-side racing dissipates just a little bit. Stearns still running the top side here, though.
Oh, Michael Dean is out of shape. Slow on the bottom of the track. I think he saves it. We're going to stay green. But he will drop from 14th all the way down to 25th. Stearns and Holyfield right back to it here for 6th.
Good look out the windshield of Hayden Palumbo here. The side-by-side battle between Stearns and Holyfield, and then you got Baumgarten trying to take advantage of it whichever way it goes.
We just had one smoking. I think it was Brantley Gainey, and he saves it, but it's going to drop him right into Stearns' lap here. I just want to say it is orange out of my window right now. I don't know how I'm still here.
Orange out of your window. Orange on the racetrack here as well.
Yeah, kind of. Same look. Different vibes. A lot less threatening at Five Flags, believe it or not.
I think the drivers might argue that one.
They're going to lose.
Caution is out, and it looks like Rob Williams is sideways on the front stretch.
Rob is doing a decent job. He was inside the top 20, but around there in turn number 1. And that is our longest green flag run of the day thus far, as the caution is out here on lap 58 for the 7th time.
As you mentioned, a nice green flag run. Let's take a look at the incident here. Another one here through turns 3 and 4, and Williams gets loose. Comes down the racetrack. He's trying to get it under control, and then just gets the old All-Star special there from Lucas Carver. Gave him a fat stack of waffles, I guess you could say, from the Waffle House.
You could say that.
Boy, that might be a special request for me when we go to Bristol. No Waffle Houses really nearby at this point, but goodness gracious, does a midnight Waffle House run sound good?
I mean, where is Bristol? You know my rule in Waffle House, and I feel like it should be standard. You can't go to a Waffle House if geographically, longitudinally, it's north of Nashville, Tennessee. Bristol's got to be close. It's probably a little bit south of that.
Yeah, I would. I don't know. It's kind of there towards the top of the Tennessee border. I think it's probably north of it, but just barely.
You might be in the DWZ, the de-waffleization zone. I think you might be okay. I think the big complication with this track right now is the pit exit, as I think quite a few people just got trapped being a lap down just by making a pit stop. And this caution period is going to have to be extended because Steve Roman needs to get to the back of the line, and he can't. So we're going to go one more lap around.
Yeah, some drivers still trying to catch up to the back of the pack here as well.
Mississippi Waffle House is where it's at. Shout out to Alabama and Florida Waffle Houses as well. I've been to all three. You can't
you've
go
also
wrong.
been you've
to
also
Georgia
been to
as
a
well.
Georgia Waffle House.
Yes,
that was
great. 10 out of 10.
That was a trip.
No complaints. Yes, it was, but no complaints. And in North Carolina as well.
I was going to say, you've also been to North Carolina and Boone.
Boy, we have got some stories. Green flag is back out. Shout out to Waffle House. Good getaway again for Schlosser. Jan Van Leer is going to be clear for second. Kay is back to third.
Man.
Lockett's got his hands full with Brantley Gainey here.
Jan Van Leer, he dropped a couple to begin the race, but has found his way back.
He just knows exactly what he's doing. He really does. Oh, trouble. Caution is out. Michael Dean into the outside wall in turn number 1. And we're back under the yellow.
Well, I said 10 would be a good number, and unfortunately we are to 8 already, and barely through a quarter of this one. It's just going to be one of those nights, folks.
It could be. It could also turn around here pretty quick.
I was going to say, we have also had races that have started out this way, and everybody kind of gets lulled into oh, we're just going to have a bunch of cautions, and then all of a sudden you get a green flag run and you're not on top of it. So, yeah, definitely still have to be ready for that long green flag run because we have certainly had the script flip a couple of times at these short tracks, and don't want to catch yourself napping. Take a look at the replay. Oh, looks like Dean and Clark trying to get there into turn number 1. I think Clark maybe expected Dean to kind of stay more towards the top of the racetrack. And he was clear there for a moment, but Gary is really attacking these corners a little bit harder than some of the other drivers, and it's just something that happens, and you have to be able to work with and know when to push, know when to not. Those are just a couple of very different approaches into a corner coming to a head there.
I do want to say, won't give the details, but glad to have Gary back in the field here tonight. Went under the knife last week, so it's just it's good to have him back here in the Venom Truck Series after having to miss Daytona last week. So Michael Dean, a narrow escape to stay on the lead lap there is, yep, we're double file again. Schlosser on the power, back at her way. Van Leer there on the outside. John Kay with a good jump down low. And he'll try and take second back.
Oh, caution's out already.
And I think that's Rob Williams there at the back of the pack. Slow on the bottom.
And see Rob slow here towards the back. See what happens here. Oh, yeah, that's just a spin by himself. Actually running the top side there. A lot of times you see it if they dive down, kind of dive into the middle. That time just carried speed on the top and must have had some raisins in his toast or something. He goes for a slide.
I'll say this much. If the Lucas Carver incident early in this race wasn't a caution, that wasn't either. Williams is pulling into the box here, regardless.
Oh, man, Breeding really had to get down to the bottom of the racetrack. That was closer than I realized.
Definitely a tight window to get through there.
Also, I don't think I acknowledged this earlier. Shout out to Don Golden for the kind words and having me back. Good to be back with a full-time schedule on a Tuesday night.
Indeed. That's what I'm wondering as well.
Man
Who
runs
is Lucas Carter?
nine seasons and all of a sudden decides it's time.
Pulling out all the stops here for season 10. Should we call it 10 flags today instead of 5 flags?
I think you could call it 20 flags here because there's 20 yellows coming.
We might. Doubling up once again. Schlosser again on the bottom. And we fire off. Back underway. Jan coming back here for second.
Okay, trying to roll the top good. Looks like Jan got a little loose there on exit, and Kay is able to take over second.
Stearns and Gainey got a bit crossed up there, but they straightened it out and are still moving forward.
Now Holyfield and Stearns going after it yet again. These two have been side by side a lot here tonight.
Big contact out of 4 between Baumgarten and Palumbo. They both wiggle it down the front stretch and are right back to battle and side by side. Haven't mentioned much of Cade Cannon yet. Cannon's driven his way back into the top 10. RJ Starcevic just outside of the top 10, so is Pascal Simard.
Man, Baumgarten actually got clear of Palumbo there for a moment, but did not have a good exit out at 2, and Palumbo gets by. And here comes Cade Cannon.
Cannon going to look to the top side here. Let's get Rainey checking in the chat. Hello, hello. Little shot to the wall there for Palumbo. He's had a steady drive back up through the field after the earlier problem. He's another one of those guys, like Brody Gunter, like Jan Van Leer, that's good in these quirky short tracks. Won at Kern County last season. As well, Baumgarten is really loose. Overcorrects into the outside wall.
No caution's going to fly. Oh, now it's going to fly.
Rob Williams, Andy Poliski get collected up behind the 6 truck.
Man, that was a long slide for the 6. I thought he was going to be able to keep it under control, but just could not quite. Then he saw the overcorrection.
There is caution number 10.
You see the slide has already started there. We'll go ahead and back up a little bit further.
I will say that the default brake bias on this setup just pulls this truck around. So he may have just overdriven it just a tad, and that thing snapped on him.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the slide, and looks like he's going to come out okay on the other side, and then all of a sudden, and it's hard with, especially with the banking here. There's not an insignificant amount, and that helps with the overcorrections as well. Wow, that was some serious net code for Poliski getting up into Baumgarten there. Oh, man, just a little too late to get it back to the left. Well, lights are out on the pace truck, but I don't. We're still pretty spread out here.
Well, we'll see if we can get it all formed up here. Schlosser in K. Right back to it. We're back at it right. Jan still with some ground underneath of K, trying to take second back. Oh, Gainey Doring Stearns there down the front stretch. In that tight condition there, out of turn 4. 22 pushing up the track.
Man, he really dove it into turn 3 there. Looked like he narrowly corralled it, but not a good exit.
Oh, RJ Starcevic got super loose out of 4, got tagged and saved it, but he's on the inside of 4 wide momentarily as they all get it sorted out.
See Jack Watts back here actually came down pit road on that 59 for fuel and tires and has already worked his way back up to 13th.
I think Jordan Jorno with some help from Corey Rutherford just lost a handful of spots there. As Rutherford is towards the top 10 now, running P11. Jack Watts right behind him. John K able to stay in front of Jan Van Leer for second. Lockett Stearns the top 5 right now with Matt Schlosser the race leader.
Okay, Cannon's going to go for a slide.
Cannon back down the track in front of RJ Starcevic and Mark Arcier rather. Those two trucks with big time problems.
And Cannon is not getting back rolling here, and these drivers are going to okay, gonna lose the lap. Starcevic gonna be one of them.
Yes, I think RJ's gonna have bigger problems here. I mean, he pummeled the door of the 88 truck. Not a whole lot you can do. That one landed right in his lap, and that's a top 10 run for Cade Cannon gone.
Yeah, that has happened to a few drivers here. And it's funny, there's such a fine line between saving it, spinning out, and then overcorrecting. We've seen pretty much all of them here tonight. That's just a long slide for the 88. Oh, man. I mean, he did a good job getting slowed down to not come straight back down the racetrack, but here at Five Flags, folks are running from the bottom up to the top of the racetrack for their normal lines sometimes, so there's just really no safe place to go. Man, that was a hard hit from RJ, and RJ's in the chat. I'm assuming probably pretty extensive damage there to the 29.
does look that way. It do be looking that way. Although he is back on the track. Albeit now 2 laps down. After already getting 2 laps back. 22 drivers on the lead lap with Joshua Rutherford getting the lucky dog last time. We are approaching the halfway mark of the race. See if things can settle down here in the back half. So we're back on our way. Another good jump from Schlosser. Kay actually going to go on the attack here around the outside as he doesn't have to deal with Jan Van Leer. This is the best restart we've seen opposite the control car yet. Kay loose right up against the wall, but he is nose to nose across the line with the race leader. Oh, caution's out. Schlosser, the leader. Michael Dean with another problem. Steve Roman is involved in this one, and so is RJ Starcevic. It's the greatest hits of this race thus far. All 3 of these guys have been involved in so many cautions tonight. Poor fellows, all of them. And all 3 of them have just been involved. They haven't been the cause. Should clarify that as well.
Let's take a look at the replay here. And that is very, very similar to what we just saw from almost identical to what we just saw from Cade Cannon. A long slide entering in the middle of the corner. Coming to a stop at the top of the racetrack. But again, drivers can run all lanes here. Plus, a lot of times when drivers are spinning like that, you expect them to kind of come down the racetrack as well. So you feel like if you just stick it to the wall, they'll probably get through. Unfortunately, not the case there. But we'll take the 12th caution period to tell the folks in the Midwest to come out to the Peoria TT on Saturday. If you're into motorsports in any shape or form, it is flat track motorcycle racing with a big ass jump right in the middle of it. It is the most electric flat track racetrack in the country, bar none. The 78th running of the Peoria TT is this Saturday in Peoria, Illinois, and I will be there as a media member, taking pictures, taking videos, and if you want to come say hi, please do. It would mean the world. Or you could also watch on, I think it's on Flow, and I think there is eventually a rerun on FS1 at some point. But yeah, come check it out. PeoriaTT.com.
We're back at our way. Oh, somebody checking up the inside line there. It's Josh Freed. Gave up a few car lengths there. It's Kane now having to fend off Jan here rather than going after Schlosser for the lead once again.
Kay is able to get clear, and Lockett trying to get clear of his teammate Stearns, was not able to. And now Stearns and Lockett will be side by side. Oh, not anymore, though. Stearns a little bit loose there on exit. Palumbo trying to get in the mix. Oh, Freed washes up the racetrack.
Oh, Gary Clark hard into the inside wall down the front stretch. We're still green.
Track conditions changing quite a bit as we are now under the lights here at Five Flags. Track temperature is actually warmer than it was when we started the race, even though we're now under the lights.
Really bright lights.
That's a lot of lumens.
I was going to say they opted for the UV LEDs. Corey Rutherford battling inside the top 10 here. That truck looks awfully loose. Brantley Gainey looks to have the opposite problem. He's made contact with the wall out of 4, I think the last 3 laps in a row. Jack Watts looking to nab a spot here in the top 10. Pulling up with Jorno and Karakov behind him. Hayden Palumbo, meanwhile, getting after it here with Chad Stearns. Palumbo trying to take this spot away. And he's got it as the caution is out. And it's Gary Clark again, now stalled on the inside wall down the backstretch. And that truck may be polished off. Already had taken a really hard shot. And that is definitely disappointing for Gary, who had great pace.
And you're going to see
this evening.
Oh, a bunch of drivers trying to come down pit road. And
Stearns.
that was Chad Stearns that got into the tire barrier with Clark coming down pit road after going a lap down.
Yeah, some confusion there.
Everybody coming, not everybody, but a lot of folks coming down.
Yeah, Schlosser came in as the race leader, and I think Jan Van Leer actually wins the race off of pit road, but that is only going to get him out 10th, I think.
So Gary goes for a slide on the backstretch and then gets a little bit of help from some trucks that were trying to come through, and he came right down in front of him. Now let's look at Stearns trying to get into pit road here. Oh, and he gets stuck there on that tire. Actually has to back up. Gets into Watts and Gainey. That was... yeah, that just was not good.
So now John Kay, Austin Onlyfield on the front row, Corey Rutherford, Matthew Karakov on row 2. So we're going to go another lap in our caution here. It'll be Steve Roman and Eric Breeding on the third row. Paul Sargent is to the inside, and I don't know who is outside. Just nobody's pulling up. I think it might have been Eric Breeding, but he just like blinked out.
Look at the car inside camera for John Kay. We'll follow John here on the restart.
Back it away. Let's see what the fresh tires can do here from the mid-pack. 10th on back.
Got to be careful on those. Oh, we were almost 3 wide there into turn 3.
Matt Schlosser is moving and shaking here.
And we are 3 wide into turn 3 this time. Jorno, Michael Dean, and Paul Sargent.
He got rooted out of the way there. Jorno made a dive under the apron, and now problem. Josh Freed is into the inside wall, and the caution is out again. He wasn't just in the wall, he was wedged. He had to back out of the wall to get it in motion. So problems for Freed. Remember, in a
Drivers-
very similar race at Thompson last season was in a lot of cautions, and then wound up getting on the podium. Nothing's off the table.
Yeah, certainly. So, there's 2 drivers out here that have not come down pit road yet. That's John Kay and Austin Holyfield. With all the cautions we've had, is it possible? I mean, it can't be possible to make it to the end. I mean, we've seen it. Let's take a look at the replay for Freed here. Oh, he gets a couple of tires down in the apron off of 4, and I think that's what kind of set things in motion there. It gets down onto the flat on exit. Not that that's a super no-no here, but I think that kind of started the chain of events that ended up with the 39 into the inside wall.
So I want to comment on something that Nathan Reynolds said in the chat a minute ago. It's sort of the compounding issue of a race with a lot of cautions in it. Everybody feels like their time is running out to make moves to get themselves up to the front. Especially the drivers in the mid-pack here are going to start to drive more aggressively, make more mistakes, which will create more cautions, which will only drive that feeling up all the way further and further towards the front of the field. And you would hope that patience would prevail, but history tells us that is not the case, no matter the league or the track.
Man, John Kay really spun the tires on that restart. Saw him wiggle a couple of times.
Holyfield thought he might be in a good position to take advantage here, but he's now got Corey Rutherford inside of him here for second. Karakov and Van Leer side by side behind them. Keeping an eye on Matt Schlosser to Garrett Rainey's point in the chat as well as Rutherford saves it. No. Spins it. Caution is out.
Oh,
Lockett's
no.
around.
Lockett. Oh, huge shots.
Nobody on the brakes. And it is an absolute parking lot.
Man, that ended up being a big incident. It seemed somewhat okay, but Lockett got absolutely blasted. Let's take another look as Jan Van Leer trying to stuff it on the bottom. There's pretty significant net code there. Not saying that they would not have touched, but oh man, drivers just absolutely piling in. Let's take a look from Jan Van Leer's point of view here. It was not going to say there wasn't a hold, but it was very tight. Let's take one more look. We'll take a bit of a wider view here. You can see some of the carnage. Some of the carnage after the fact. So Holyfield and Kay decide to continue to stay out here.
From the looks of it on your replay as well, watching it from my rear chase, I don't think they actually made contact. But you
I
are
don't
absolutely correct. Jan threaded that needle. There was a truck width there, and he took it. It's not going to make Corey Rutherford feel much better to hear that they didn't actually make contact. But still, plenty of time to go in this race for everybody to move forwards and backwards a couple more times. And don't forget, I believe Jan is on fresh tires here, so this is going to be quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of drivers that
the
just
chat
came down on lap 110. So just a couple of cautions ago are all lined up behind Kay and Holyfield here.
The wall's starting to close in just a little bit as Kay is back on the gas and underway. Holyfield spinning the tires a bit.
And Van Leer already going to take the fight to the inside of Holyfield.
Schlosser advancing through on Journeau now. Holyfield able to keep some pace here on the top side, at least slow the bleeding a little bit. It's Palumbo a little bit loose underneath of him.
Oh, Schlosser and Holyfield, awful close together there. I think Schlosser washed up the racetrack just a tad. Oh, and some more contact between them.
Oh, boy. Here is Jan sizing up a move for the lead as Schlosser looking to pin it underneath Palumbo. Never mind that. Caution is out. And it is Cole Maxwell and another parking lot down the backstretch. Brady Gunter, Cade Cannon, Mark Ossier, Sam Baumgarten. And I'm sure John Kay was breathing a sigh of relief there because I thought maybe that was going to be our lone green flag run. And John Kay's been hosed a time or two by that strategy coming out from underneath of him. But it was not to be. And
yeah.
John Kay going to come in and pit.
Yep. Kay and Holyfield in from front of the pack.
Zach Lockett in the chat. A bummer.
The entire team was having a good night. Things have gone a little sideways for him here. Oh, and you see Gainey nearly went for a slide, was able to corral it, but then they're 3 wide, and Maxwell ends up around. Oh, man, and then Baumgarten trying to avoid the 69, gets up into the 22, and it's on from there. I'm going to struggle with Baumgarten and Baumgartner all night because my next door neighbor, their last name was Baumgartner growing up. So apologies. That's probably going to happen more than once this season.
I'm going to get him mixed up with Billy Baumgarten. Billy Baumgartner. I'm already doing it now. From Thursday nights. Good Lord. And a partridge in a pear tree. All right. New players at the front again. Jan Van Leer, Hayden Palumbo. Now Matt Schlosser back to third with Jordan Journeau to his outside. Andy Poliski and Michael Dean, your top 6. Back to it. Good old Chad Stearns lurking in the mix here. As Schlosser running Palumbo a bit up the track there. Trying to get clear. Oh, Palumbo loose. So he gives up second.
Yeah, Journeau came right to him, and what a great effort from Journeau here inside the top 5 right now. We haven't talked about Andy Poliski pretty much all night, I feel like. He's just been kind of hanging out in the middle of the pack, and all of a sudden, here he is in the top 5.
Poliski had a good Daytona as caution is out. And it's Steve Roman. Oh, my God. Or Steve. He cannot catch a break here this evening. We'll check the replay here, but this may be the first one that is technically his fault. But, I mean, this truck is beaten to a pulp, so I don't think he can be held responsible for anything at this point.
I was going to say he's been in a lot of them, but literally none of them were his fault, but this might be the one. I think we're going to see Steve just get loose off the bottom. Yeah, he got loose off the bottom. Was probably going to go for the slide. Just got a tiny little up tap there from Carver. And that'll bring out the 17th caution of the evening.
I don't think we're in record territory, but, you know, I think we're a little bit closer than some folks would like us to be.
Certainly. A run here is not out of the question, though.
We've had glimpses. I mean, let's be honest. Thompson last season, there was no hope. Zero.
Absolutely.
All of the ingredients are here to have a run to the checkers, and a quite dynamic one at that, with tire lives varying across the board through this field. It would be a very interesting run to the checkers just outside of 50 laps to go. Will we get that? Probably not. But there is, I mean, it's not a 0% chance like Thompson.
It's been interesting listening to the drivers on the radio kind of describe what they've been going through here, what they felt in the steering wheel and in the pedals, and what they might feel in their hearts after this one as well.
JDL leading the bunch. Back to it.
Well, according to Garrett Rainey, we got $100 on the line for both of us if they go caution-free, so damn it, let's not have another one.
Clean it up, guys.
Oh, we're 3 wide. This is not going to work.
No. Yep, there goes Brantley Gainey. Caution's out.
There goes $100.
I never shook on it.
Yeah, not that I ever had a glimpse of hope, honestly.
Oh, we've got more problems in front of Brantley Gainey as Cole Maxwell and Frank Suris are stopped as well.
Yeah, that was Joshua Rutherford, I think, also.
I thought maybe they were stuck on the wall, but there is no wall down there. They're just right up against the white line.
Well, this just was never going to work.
Just compounding
they're
aggression,
3 wide
running out of time.
Yeah, they're 3 wide, and then Gainey is, I don't know if he knows how close John Kay is there on the bottom, but also maybe just washes up the racetrack trying to get in the throttle also. Gets up into the 36. And then goes for a pretty good ride there. Also, little bit of dispute on this incident after the initial incident where Clark got into Maxwell.
Messy, messy, messy. Oh well. You know, at the end of it all, after a night like tonight, that's about all you could say is, oh well. Because there's not been anything egregiously offensive yet. Now, with a win on the line in the closing laps, we might tread into that territory. It's possible. But we'll see.
this is certainly a racetrack where lanes open. Lanes open to put your truck places that it probably should not go. But with a win on the line, you might just take it.
50 laps to go at the stripe. Great restart here for Palumbo. A nose out ahead into turn one. Schlosser trying to answer back here on the outside.
Schlosser really rolled the middle. A 3 and 4, fantastic there.
Yeah, Palumbo really squared that corner.
Man, carried a lot of speed. He's going to go right back after Jan Van Leer here as well. Gets to the outside.
He's found something. Jan is going to have to go on the defensive. Schlosser not done with Palumbo yet. Top four nose to tail with Journeau there in P4. Schlosser trying to take a dive as the caution's out. Frank Suris with an issue. Brantley Gainey is nosed into the inside wall there in turn number 2. And what started as a pretty promising night for Gainey has turned hellish very quickly.
Take a look at the replay here. And looks like Gainey, man, that's just another one of those where somebody carries too much speed into the middle of that turn 1 corner and they go for the slide.
What I don't think helps Brantley Gainey in that situation is the aero damage. I mean, this truck is already on the knife's edge. Any little piece that is jutting out or pushed in is going to make this truck behave poorly, and that was certainly a poorly behaved truck, if nothing else. And Gainey is going to get an EOL, and on top of that, he's going to go a lap down here getting damage fixed. $18 drivers on the lead lap at the current moment. Back to Pascal Simard. Eric Breeding, actually, I think is going to make it 19 as he got the lucky dog. So, this is how it stands as of now. Jan Van Leer, Matt Schlosser, Hayden Palumbo, Jordan Journeau, and Andy Poliski, the top 5. Chad Stearns, Michael Dean, Jack Watts, John Kay, and Joshua Matichek, after all that, is back up to 10th. Matthew Karikoff, Kyle Zittel, Austin Holyfield, Josh Freed, and Corey Rutherford, your top 15. And the rest of the lead lap trucks, Steve Roman, Cade Cannon, Pascal Simard, Kyle Zittel, and Eric Breeding. That's who's got a shot at it here, inside of 50 to go. For now. Pace truck pulls in. We're back at array here. Lap 158 on the board. A good jump for Jan. Schlosser trying to get in line. I mean, inches away from Palumbo, if not closer. Journeau going to go on the offensive on the outside. Trying to take third.
Journeau right on the top, good here as well. There in the 84, still side by side with Palumbo. Behind them, Jack Watts. And caution is out yet again.
Kyle Zittel around backwards on the backstretch. Not sure what happened there. Zittel running towards the tail end of the lead lap, but was on the lead lap nonetheless. I think, from the sounds of it over the radio, may have had some contact with Zach Lockett. That is caution number 20.
Oh, Paul Ellison just made me break so hard. Oh man, let's take a look at this incident for Kyle Zittel. Oh man, Kyle was trying to, I think, gonna try and put it in the middle of 3 wide there, and Zach Lockett was on the bottom. And don't think Lockett expected Zittel to make that high to low move right there on the exit. Just got right into him. Not really any hard damage, or hard contact, I should say, for Zittel there, though. So that's at least one positive. Was already at the back of the pack and no extra damage. So I don't know if it's really all that much harm at this point. Tell you what, Matichek's race looked like it was over about 20 laps in.
I wish we had the Fox style graphic that shows you the running order graph, because Matichek's would be wild. He's been everywhere, man. He's been everywhere, and he's back.
He is absolutely back.
The drivers are taking side bets on what we're doing instead of watching this race. Bad news for them is we're watching the race. And that is a problem for Jordan.
Right off the get-go.
He saves it. He is going to lose a ton of spots.
Oh, they're
Drops back
3
into
wide
10th.
there through 1 and 2. Boy. I don't know how that didn't turn ugly, but Jorno did a good job to get that truck corralled. But like you said, went from a top 5 position. Didn't lose as many as we thought. He's only back to 8th, but still not great. And now the caution is going to fly.
Problems for, I see Lucas Carver there, Eric Breeding, and maybe Rob Williams. And it sounds like Joshua Rutherford got a piece of it as well.
Yeah, I kind of went hard on the replay there, a little quick, but we're right here. So looks like maybe Rutherford got into Breeding here. Yeah, Joshua Rutherford right into the left rear of the 26. Nowhere for Rob Williams to go there, no doubt. And Carver was just kind of stopped up there on the top of the racetrack with him.
I just wish we could take a beat and just relax. Let things play out for a few laps. And go from there.
I am proud of the drivers
just
for
be.
one thing. They came up with some good ideas of what we might be talking about up here.
I agree. I think the big problem with showing wrestling matches is the copyright strike.
Yeah. ESPN will have it all before too long.
Good. They're the bastions of quality of late.
Uh-huh.
Let's not open that can of worms.
To Jeremy McKinnon's, I don't know what you want to call it, but to his little comment down there, if I was to give this race a character in Home Alone, it would be the spider on the chest, and I would be Marv trying to whack the hell out of it with a crowbar.
Oh, Lord.
I would be going
backing
after it
away.
at this point.
Good getaway for Jan. Palumbo with an opportunity to regain second, but Schlosser drag racing.
Oh,
no! Schlosser trying to get in line, and the 04 is in the outside wall.
Man, we had an up-close and personal view of that one.
Man.
And I don't think Schlosser is going to get any of those back.
No, I don't think so. Not at this point. Hard to tell if he was going in for this gap or maybe just didn't realize how close he was to Palumbo there underneath of him.
All right, let's take a look here. This is Schlosser. Palumbo headed into turn number 3. Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe Schlosser just thought he was going to be clear there. Because he definitely came down pretty much into the lane that Palumbo was in, or maybe Palumbo just carried a little more speed in there than he has been previously. Pretty uncharacteristic for Schlosser to really try and pinch a position down like that.
Palumbo is haggling with JVL over the radio. That's a tough spot for Palumbo there. I
mean, Palumbo, it's hard to say because Palumbo did go up the racetrack after the incident, but, I mean, is that because of the contact? Was he headed that direction anyways? I mean, it's just, it's almost impossible to really put fault on one party or another 100%.
Yeah, I would definitely, personally, of course, court is court. They'll make their own decision, but I would call that more of a racing incident, but I would probably lean more towards Schlosser coming down more than Palumbo came up. But we'll figure that out later as there's still a race to be won. Great getaway for Jan here. Gaps Palumbo by 2 truck lengths as Chad Stearns is now up to 3rd.
Poliski up here in the top 5. Modicek in the top 5 underneath the Poliski. Look at this, the 60 truck.
Unbelievable.
And Jordan Journeau is back up here fighting for a top 5 position.
Journeau's got outstanding pace here this evening. Great recovery. As trouble for Kyle Zittel and Cole Maxwell locked together in turn number 2, and we are back under caution.
And Eric Breeding caught up in that one as well.
Yes.
As the pace truck runs over the 53.
To point out as well, I don't think he got an EOL for it, but Matt Schlosser in the text chat did say, I claim responsibility.
Oh,
for that last caution. So we'll see if anything comes of that here as we're under caution number 23.
Let's take a look at this one. Oh, man. And that one looks like Zittel was trying to get into a hole that probably was not quite there. He's trying to tuck in behind the 36. Man, that looked like neck code, too. It didn't even really look like they touched. I mean, it's a little bit hard to tell from that angle, but might be a little... I guess they did.
And I guess that could have been for that incident that he was claiming responsibility for. It was just the last thing that I saw. And yeah, he'll get an EOL penalty here under this caution.
I don't know if I would really put that on him either. That, I mean, kind of looked like Zittel coming from the top, trying to put it in a hole on the bottom that just closed very quickly.
Well, they'll avoid arbitration at least. They've settled out of court on Schlosser going to the back of the pack.
I can tell you this, there are a lot of cases not settled out of court at this point.
No, there are definitely a lot of pending slap suits here. Inside of 25 to go. We'll be knocking on the door. 20 to go here. Is Jan Van Leer and Hayden Palumbo on the front row. Chad Stearns, Joshua Matichek, row 2. Andy Poliski and Jordan Jarnell back up to 6th.
I need to point out the host of aggressive drivers we have at the front of the field right now. Jan Van Leer, Hayden Palumbo being two of them. Matichek in his own right can be pretty aggressive as well, although kind of in a little bit of a different manner. So things are going to get interesting here in the last 20 laps.
Good start here for Jan. Matichek is clear for third as the caution is out. I'm not even sure for what. See, Lucas Carver's slow on the track.
Oh, yeah, looks like Clark and Carver got together. And yes, Don Golden is on the counter tonight. That's the 24th caution. At this point, I think the record is on the table.
I think so.
Is it 27? Is that what the record is currently?
26.
Oh, it's only 26. Wow, we are definitely on pace.
Yippee. Well, regardless, I only got 15 laps to go.
What's kind of crazy, though, is in some weird fashion, this doesn't seem nearly as bad as Thompson.
No, I mean, that's the truth of it. Maybe this race has been longer. Thompson, we did not get more than 2 laps in at any point in that race. We had multiple 10-lap runs in this race. I mean, that doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, all the ingredients have been here for a good race this evening, and we just have not executed. That's just the truth of it. It's unfortunate, but that's the spot that we found ourselves in here.
Yeah. If we get to the record, let's just take the top 10, kick everybody else off the racetrack, and race from there.
We might be able to do it anyway here. Racing for the win. Jan back to the line. Palumbo right back down low in front of Matichek. And we're under caution again. Gary Clark is slow. It's going from bad to worse for Gary Clark. He's been in multiple accidents now, and that one, the truck just gave up on him. And that is deemed his third caution, and he is disqualified. Okay. Marco Sierra will get the wave around here, or get the lucky dog, rather. That will bring him to 3 laps down. We got 21 drivers that are on the lead lap. But the 17 will be the first driver a lap down.
This is going to turn into the strike on Raw where the commentary team is out. So one of the drivers is going to have to come up here in the broadcast booth and do the commentating at this point.
Hey, Colt Cabana, how you doing? Come up here to the booth, brother. All the fans are still packed in the stands here. We got more racing action for you this week on the channel. Thursday night, Max VC's Own Designs Truck Series will be live from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Let's see there at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. But we're going to settle this one. 10 laps to go when we get back to the stripe. Jan Van Leer, Hayden Palumbo, Joshua Matacek, and Chad Stearns, Andy Poliski, and Jordan Jorno, the top 6. As we roll back to the green.
Man, good restart there for Stearns.
Whoa.
He was all over the back of Palumbo, but thing gets really loose.
That thing got out from underneath of him there in the middle of the corner. Oh, and another problem. Caution is out again. Goodness gracious. I think Schlosser into Steve Roman. There's people trying to get too much here in the final 50 to 100 laps of this race.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll be a penalty for Schlosser.
Boy, I think I could drive this race and get my taxes done all at the same time. There's enough time I don't really have to pay attention to what I'm doing under caution. I could have gotten it done and submitted to the IRS.
So that is a drive-through penalty for Matt Schlosser.
And we are on the cusp of a record-breaking number.
I did not think it shouldn't have been possible. But we're here. I think after a messy Daytona last week and this evening, we have a lot to discuss headed into next week.
I feel like it's every couple of seasons we have to have this talk right towards the beginning.
Yeah. But certainly, this was always going to be a challenging night. No reason not to expect 10 to 15 cautions coming into this evening, but there is no reason for this. Just impatience across the board. But we'll see how impatient these drivers are feeling at the front of this field, because knowing we are just in short bursts, I mean, it's go time for Palumbo, Matacek, and Stearns. How are you going to uproot Jan Van Leer? Time is out.
I know one way, and it doesn't seem to be out of the question here tonight.
No, it certainly isn't. We'll see who's willing to employ it. Big bump there from Matacek up to Jan Van Leer, trying to time this restart out. Palumbo doesn't fire well from the outside. Matacek again trying to sneak that look there to the inside, but JVL, good drive off. Matacek cleared. Oh, but he's a little loose.
Oh, yeah, really loose there on exit.
Coming to 2 to go. Matacek trying to chip away. Coming to the white flag. The race is official. Jan Van Leer leads him across the stripe. And he's got it on lock. Needs a clean 3 and 4. And Jan Van Leer is headed back to victory lane in the Venom Truck Series. JVL on point. Matacek for the second week in a row. We'll finish in runner-up. Hayden Palumbo rounds out the podium. And we are stuck on 26 again. But that is 2 broadcasts in a row and 2 wins for Jan Van Leer, career victory number 4 in the Venom Truck Series. Jordan Journeau, career best 7th place finish. Jack Watts in the top 10. Corey Rutherford in the top 10. Great recovery for him. Career best 5th place finish for Austin Holyfield. Some great stories out of a tragic night for the league. But thank God we all get Papa John's after this, am I right?
Don't tempt me with a good time.
What a win for Jan Van Leer here tonight. We said he knows how to pick off the strat, and he did it. Not that he didn't have the pace to win anyway. But what a night for Jan Van Leer, career victory number 4 in the Venom Truck Series as the celebration is wrapping up. Let's go ahead and give you the full finishing rundown. We'll talk to Jan, we'll talk to Joshua Monticek and Hayden Palumbo, your podium finishers here after 200 laps at Five Flags Speedway. Chad Stearns will finish in 4th. It is 5th place, a career best finish for Austin Holyfield here tonight. Congratulations to him. Andy Poliski solidly in P6 here this evening. Jordan Journeau, career best finish in 7th. Jack Watts, career best finish in 8th. John Kay in 9th. Corey Rutherford back into the top 10 for a couple of seasons in the first time. The first time in a couple of seasons normally is how you would say that. 11th for Matthew Karikoff. 12th for Josh Freed. Michael Dean in 13th. Pascal Samar and Kyle Zittel, your top 15. Steve Romad somehow is going to finish this race and finish it in 16th. Cole Maxwell, P17. Paul Sargent in 18th. Cade Cannon, Eric Breeding, the top 20. With the penalty there, late match, Schlosser will fall to 21st, 1 lap down. 22nd for Mark Ossier. 23rd for Brody Gunter. Zach Lockett in 24th. Rob Williams, 25th. 26th for Joshua Rutherford. 27th, Brantley Gainey. Sam Baumgarten in 28th. Lucas Carver, 29th. Tyler Berger in 30th. I've been told I've been pronouncing Frank's name wrong. It's Srirachi, I believe. That's what Nathan Reynolds just told me. If that's still wrong, let me know. And I'm supposed to say good morning, Frank. Unfortunately, it was good night, Frank, very early in this one. RJ Starcevic and Gary Clark disqualified will be scored in 33rd at the end of it. So we'll wait for Hayden Palumbo to pop into the waiting room. Actually, we can just hot swap him into the waiting room and go do that right now. Give him a chance to catch a breather. And I can't drag. There we go. Hayden Palumbo in booth 200 once again, back on the podium for the first time this season. And a very interesting race here tonight, but there was no doubt you had the pace to contend for the podium and the win here this evening. Congrats on a strong run here this evening.
I don't know what you're talking about, pace to win, but it was just sloppy. Not very fast, and then, spun myself out. Lap 4 or 5, something like that. Just not in my. I'm still in my preseason form, I think.
Well, I think lucky for you, everybody was in that form here tonight. But I mean, regardless, I mean, you once you worked your way, which was very impressive, to blast back through this field under the limited green flag running that we had. I mean, you were able to hang with whoever was up there and challenge for the lead at times and challenge for the spots inside the top 5 with relative ease.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, I pretty much ran the whole race until I got to the, top 5 at about 40% because I just knew wrecks were coming and just save tire and, try to go as slow as fast as possible.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on a P3 finish here tonight. You're always very good here on these types of short tracks. I have to imagine this is one that you might have had quite a bit of confidence coming into here tonight, but I mean, certainly it kind of unraveled as the night went along.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I could have gotten, some 30, 40 lap green flag runs, like I probably could have done, something with it. I mean, I think I pit on like lap 119 or something like that, along with, the rest of the leaders. But I mean, I'd passed what, 28, 29 cars or something at that point on that one set of tires and was still able to hang. So I mean, I think I could have, probably had something if we could have gotten a long green flag run. I just had zero fire off speed and I couldn't roll the center like Matt or Jan could. So
I mean, good stuff here tonight. Regardless, congrats. Welcome back to the podium, and let's get some shout-outs in before we let you go.
well, shout out you guys. I think mom and dad's watching. Matt obviously didn't go, I guess, the way that he had planned on, but we're gonna get him there. I mean, I think this is certainly his maybe first time racing at something like this, at this caliber. But he's got a lot of speed. He shows it in qualifying. But I think we'll get him there, get him running up in the top 5 here in a few weeks.
He certainly did run really well. I don't think P11 is quite representative of where he ran, and yeah, definitely see him succeeding here very, very soon. And certainly a good start or a good finish to the night, rather, for you. Congrats to the podium, and we'll hopefully talk to you again next week.
We'll see you later, guys.
Okay. He is second for the second week in a row. It's Joshua Matacek back here in booth 200. I mean, want to drive back through the field. I guess we'll rip the Band-Aid off here. I mean, that was 24 cautions ago at this point, but I mean, talk us through the incident that set your night in motion the wrong direction.
I mean, it was just racing deal. Me and Brody are racing hard. Brody is a phenomenal driver, especially on short tracks. He's always quick. But he was pushing the issue, trying to get around me and tried to cross me over. And I think I might have got a little aero wash or something. Just got just a tad loose. And when I lifted to kind of ease the truck out, he was just right on my tail and gave me a bump or two. And around I went. So I mean, no hard feelings. That's racing. I mean, short tracks are gonna have some super close racing. But yeah, definitely set off a pretty rough chain. I mean, I was a lap down for most of the race. Got the lucky dog several times. I had like 2 minutes of damage from that incident. So I mean, every caution I was in, getting damage repaired, just trying to make it back. I mean. At one point, it felt hopeless. I was a lot of damage, so far off pace. I went a lap down naturally under green flag, but we were able to make a stick, come in, get the damage fixed, get back on the lead lap, and once we got back on the lead lap, I took that last set of tires around lap 156 or so, and then I was just like, okay, well, I'm here. I know I'm the fastest on the field from qualifying. Let's put her to the front. Probably a couple of risky moves, probably ruffled some feathers, but I mean, we show up to win. So that's what we tried to do. Came up one short, but I will for sure take a back-to-back P2 podium to start out the season.
All right, Matt, what you got for your fellow color man here once again?
Yeah, congrats on the P2. I mean, you certainly saw the field from the front to the back and obviously back to the front again.
And side to side.
I think everybody saw the entire racetrack here tonight. But, I mean, what a recovery drive for you here. I mean, it's gotta give you a lot of confidence to know that you can take a beating like that to begin the race and then, drive yourself all the way back up to the front. I'm sure... you're expecting probably quite a bit from this season. Does this kind of give you even higher expectations, maybe a good drive through the field like that?
I mean, yes and no. Realistically, it should, but doing my best to not get my hopes too high, just to be able to meet expectations instead of fall just short. I mean, last season I had a pretty decent season. all things considered. But I was the highest in points, fourth in points without a win. So I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but that's definitely kind of what we're shooting for here is just trying to hit that top step and second week in a row to start the season, just falling up short. But it is what it is. Show up, show out. If we can't win the show, we're going to be the show. So I think we definitely did that tonight.
You certainly were the show here at multiple points. I mean, you were gutterballed around the top side of the track at multiple points on the couple of long green flag runs that we had. We saw you go in the wrong direction. This is remarkable recovery, to say the least. So congrats on driving back up through and getting that P2, and let's get some shout-outs in before we let you go.
Yeah, huge shout out to Bailey who let me put in not as much practice as I would have. I started up a soccer league on Monday night, so wasn't able to join in the Monday night practice. So I definitely feel like we missed out on a little bit of valuable information that I wasn't able to pick up until like mid race or so. But huge shout out to Bailey for all that. Shout out to my parents always watching. I mean, shout out to all the guys up front. Like I said, I know I came through like a man on a mission, like a wild man. So I mean, shout out to everybody for keeping cool and not pushing the issue too hard against me, and I try my best not to ruffle too much and take anybody out in the process. But yeah, I'll take it.
Your Tech Tape Pole Award winner from the front to the back to the front, Motocheck in P2 here tonight. Congrats, and we'll hope to get you that one better next week in Atlanta.
That's right. Thanks, guys.
All righty. For the fourth time, but it's been a while since we talked to him as a race winner, only about 48 hours or so. Jan Van Leer is back in Booth 200 as a race winner once again in the Venom Truck Series this time. Congrats and welcome back.
Heck yeah, thank you. Good to be back.
Well, I mean, we talked about it on the top of the broadcast. This race had the opportunity for a double-digit caution count. I don't think we were quite expecting it to be this high, but certainly, I mean, you, looking at practice and qualifying, you had the pace to be at the front of this field, and we always know that you know how to play the strategy just right to get yourself this track position late in the run. I mean, talk us through your thoughts coming into the night.
Honestly, I wanted it to be over. I thought this was just going to be a really bad race, and that I was just hoping that I could make it through without having to pee too bad or getting wrecked, get a nice solid finish. I wasn't thinking I was going to win. We have some newer guys since I've got my wins that are short track demons. So I knew I'd have my work cut out. And honestly, I didn't even really want to deal with the stress of being in front. I just wanted to hang out up there and just get some solid points. But, when the opportunity came up and I saw John did not pit, and then I thought, man, if I can just get to the front, I could get myself into that position again, just manage the restarts once again. You never know.
I mean, certainly, the not having a whole lot of laps there at the end of the race helped. But, I mean, you were able to fire off better than most were. There on the bottom side of the track. And, I mean, certainly you had great truck positioning all night long. It looked like the truck was rolling really well as well. I mean, you were commanding the front of that field once you got the track position up front.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a great truck, beautiful truck. This In-N-Out Burger Ford F-150 was looking good all night. So I think it just liked being out front. And, yeah, managing the rear tires, I think, is really important. I saw on some of the earlier restarts, I saw John squiggle a little bit when he was trying to fire off, and I knew that I just had to, whatever I did, I had to manage those rears so that I could get the, that drag race done.
Matt, what you got for your race winner?
Yeah, congrats on the race win. I know that, you kind of said that you weren't expecting to get a win here tonight, but wanted to be up there towards the front. But, I mean, before the race, here in the broadcast booth, both me and Tommy mentioned that This is kind of one of those racetracks that plays a little bit into your hand. So I would not say it's at all a surprise to see on the top step tonight. So congratulations. But I mean, we had a couple of decent green flag runs there, and you got to do some side-by-side racing there a couple of times. I want to talk a little bit about the good here tonight. Talk to me about a little bit about the green flag side-by-side racing that was happening, because if we got more of that tonight, it seemed like it was going to be really exciting.
Yeah, I think if we had 15 or 20 cars, this could have been an amazing race. Some of these guys are just on it when it comes to short tracks. This one's an interesting one, bumpy. The lines are weird. It's not a typical track that you can just hug the bottom. It's almost a bit like South Boston in that there's just a weird kind of no man's land down there towards the bottom. But and then there's that bump. There's like a bump coming out of 4, and it gets flat afterwards, which is a deadly combo. So yeah, the racing was intense. Trying to get back up through the field after I pit was intense. I feel bad for Corey Rutherford. He was running really well, and it looks like we just had some net code contact. I knew I had to be really aggressive to get down to the bottom and try to make any pass. I knew if I stayed behind him that someone was going to try to just get me on the bottom. So I knew I had to do it first. I also just knew I had to keep it to the bottom. So I made sure I stayed down as low as I could. And it looks like just a couple McRibs of netcode spelled disaster for Corey. So I feel bad for him. But really stoked for the team. I needed a good win. Don't think I even had an interview with you guys last season. So
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was an off season. So back on victory lane, got a new truck and feeling really good.
Certainly a lot of reasons to celebrate here this evening. Congrats on getting back to victory lane, and let's get some shout outs in before we let you go.
Thank you guys. I'd like to shout out my team Insert Coin Racing for being the best guys on the iRacing service. They're always just a pleasure to be racing with and great on the radio. Everyone at Venom, all the veteran drivers that are still here after many years, all the new drivers that are showing up to give us trouble in a good way. Josh Motacek for racing really well there with me at the end. Man, you guys for always kicking ass in the broadcast booth and making it interesting for the folks at home. My family, and that's about it. Yeah. In-N-Out Burger.
Alrighty, partner. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, In-N-Out Burger, man, they're delicious.
I gotta say we're in victory lane here tonight, and I mean we've been talking a lot of Waffle House here tonight, but I could go for a double. That sounds fantastic. So
I might have to tonight. I might not have a choice.
I'm glad you have the choice because I don't. But I mean you've earned it. Whatever you decide to do with your evening, go get it, go do it, and we'll hope to talk to you again next week at Atlanta.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. See you next week.
All right, partner. I think the opinions have been covered. We can just head off air here without. I mean, anything else you want to say in the wrap up to this one? Otherwise, we're on to next.
Yeah, I think everything that needed to be said and probably things that didn't need to be said have already been said. So we'll just go ahead and give a shout out to all the folks that were in the chat tuning in for this one. Appreciate it. Had a good crowd here tonight. A lot of chats rolling through. So thank you to everybody, particularly Joshua Rutherford, Bailey Marie Motacek, Allie Hill cheering on John K. Garrett Rainey, Jeremy McKinnon, Nathan Reynolds, of course, at Car Inside. Don Golden cheering on the Rutherford fellas. Let's see. I know Paul Ellison was in here at some point. Zach Locken, unfortunately, in here early. Ty Coleman cheering on Austin Holyfield, who had a really good run. He, went to the back in the when he had to come down pit road and found his way all the way up to a top 5 again. So great run there for Austin Holyfield here tonight. RJ Starcevic, unfortunately, caught up in a couple of incidents there. Good to have him in the chat, though. Of course, Ryan Dye. How could we forget? I'm blaming him for tonight, and I'm blaming him and his pigeons. So even when he's not here, I can still blame him anyway. So shout out to Ryan Dye, of course, as always. Robin Monachek as well. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in here and showing up for this one. Hope that you enjoyed the commentary and hope that you enjoyed the green flag racing that we did get, because when it was green, it was pretty good. So thank you to everybody, and I'll give one more plug if anybody's interested that's in the Midwest to see the best motorcycle racing on the planet. Come out to the Peoria TT on August 16th, this Saturday. If you are interested and are in the Discord, just shoot me a message and we'll get you some information. And I'll be there to hang out with you at some point.
Lovely stuff as always. And yeah, we'll send it home by reminding you that we're on air again next Thursday night. This Thursday night, rather. Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. We'll be live from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're not back on air again until next Tuesday night when the Venom Truck Series returns to 2008 Atlanta Motor Speedway for the still better than Atlanta 115. It makes sense if you think about it. So you can get it again at 8:30 next Tuesday night. And we'll have, I'm sure, a nice debrief here momentarily with the admin team as well. But in the meantime, that's all we got for you here tonight. Thanks to everybody that was hanging out with us. Thanks to all the drivers as well. Thank you to the admin team. And thank you to Mr. Matt Williamson as well. That's all we got for you here tonight. Until we meet again from Five Flags Speedway, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long, and congratulations to Jan Van Leer, 4th career Venom Truck Series victory. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.